Sydney Olympic Park, a green miracle rising from scars. On the southern bank of the slow-flowing Parramatta River, in the very heart of Sydney, lies a piece of land called Sydney Olympic Park. Today it is full of trees, laughter, and life, but for a long time this land carried deep scars in silence. In the late 19th century, when industrialization swept through the city, this land became its shadow. Blood from slaughterhouses soaked into the ground, the smell of gunpowder from ammunition factories filled the air, and Sydney's waste piled up layer after layer. The wetlands turned black with pollution, and the soil was poisoned. Even until the late 1980s, people called it a wasteland, a place abandoned and thought impossible to heal. Then, in 1993, when Sydney was chosen to host the 2000 Summer Olympics, a miracle began. The land that nobody wanted suddenly became the center of the world's attention. Under the grand vision of hosting an environmental Olympics, people began removing the contaminated soil, one shovel at a time. It became the largest environmental restoration project in Australian history. They purified the toxic land and brought life back to it. It was more than construction. It was a kind of ritual of healing, forgiving the past and dreaming of the future. After years of effort, the land came back to life. Green grass grew again, trees took root, birds returned, and the river became clear. And in September 2000, athletes from all over the world fulfilled their dreams on this very ground. The Olympic flame burned brightly, on land that was once a dump. After the Olympics, many cities were left with empty, silent stadiums. But Sydney Olympic Park was different. It didn't stop at past glory. It was reborn as a living community. During the day, it's a quiet residential area where young couples stroll with baby prams and children laugh on their bicycles. Tourists take photos at the Cathy Freeman Park Flame Tower, and joggers run lightly along the riverside paths. It's peaceful, calm, and beautifully ordinary. But on weekends, especially during big events, the park shows a completely different face. Around the Sydney Showground, tens of thousands of people gather, and the air vibrates with excitement. During the Sydney Royal Easter Show, farmers proudly present their livestock. In summer, the cheers from NRL games shake the air. Concerts light up the night sky, and trade fairs fill buildings with energy. More than 150 events take place every year. The park never rests. It can't. Its purpose is to keep moving, changing, and embracing people. October 4th, 2025, Saturday, the first day of a long weekend. Under the afternoon sun, I met Joel and his friends in West Ryde. Their outfits were, honestly, shocking. Neon wigs, wild makeup, torn clothes, like a mix of Halloween and cyberpunk, but their eyes sparkled with innocent excitement. "We're going to Knockout Festival," Joel shouted. When we arrived at Olympic Park, I was speechless. The usually quiet NG Stadium was covered by a sea of people, 60,000 of them. It was the Knockout Outdoor, the circus, the biggest hardstyle dance festival in the Southern Hemisphere. Everywhere I looked, people expressed themselves freely, some with wings, others glowing with lights, some looking like they came from the future. They rejected rules, laughed at conventions, and existed only in their own way. At that moment, I understood this is what youth truly is. Pure, untamed energy exploding into life. As the sun went down, the music began. The bass shook the ground, lasers cut through the sky, and fireworks burst all around. 60,000 bodies moved as one. There were no ages, no nationalities, no boundaries, only music and passion. It was hard to believe that just a few hundred meters away stood Cathy Freeman Park's quiet Olympic flame. A symbol of peace and a scene of chaos coexisted in the same space. That is the true nature of Sydney Olympic Park, a place that holds the past but lives in the present, a place both silent and loud, still and alive. When the festival ended, I walked quietly to the riverside. The sky over Olympic Park was painted red by the sunset. It was beautiful, but more than that, it felt meaningful. As if the sky itself was trying to say something. Standing under that crimson sky, I thought, the miracle of this place is not just environmental recovery or urban success. The real miracle is that this land is still alive, still changing. It is not trapped in its past, but continues to embrace the present and move toward the future. A land that was once a pile of waste now shines as a symbol of hope. That is the greatest miracle of Sydney Olympic Park.